My parents were born in South Korea just like me. I came here in second grade, at second semester of second grade. It was hard in the beginning, you know, like the language barrier, of course, is the hardest part. I had no idea like how to communicate with my friends. So in the beginning, I would honestly just stay at the apartment that we lived in at the time. And I was just like kind of isolated. I just talked to my family. I love this community because people are so open. My friends at the time, they just took me in. Even though I barely communicated with them, it was just like most of the time it was body language. But they took me in as a friend, and I just started trying to talk to them as much as I can. Even though sometimes they probably was like I have no idea what this kid's saying, but they're just laughing and just having a good time with me. Well, I got into football around, I'd say sixth grade. I think it was sixth grade when I started playing. It was just because my friends at the school were like, "Hey Jay, you should come play football with us." Not really. I mean, the only sport I played is probably on the playground. Other than that, no, I didn't play any sports. I honestly had no idea what football was. Like, the main sport that I knew was like soccer and basketball. I really had no idea what football was. So in the beginning, like all the plays were just really like exotic and just really foreign to me. It was really hard to get used to. But like, I mean, I'm a pretty quick learner. So I got used to it pretty quickly, and then my coaches really helped because they saw that they could use me on the team. They developed me pretty well. They were patient with me, and I'm really thankful for that. I remember when I first went up to my mom, I was like, "Mom, can I play football?" She just looked at me weird. She was like, "What? Like, why do you want to play that?" And I was like, "Oh, my friends wanted to play." So I honestly don't even know how I convinced her to play. But yeah, I mean, she was hesitant about it because like, she knew of the sport and how rough it was. So even to this day, I'm playing out there on Friday nights, and she just over there like praying. She's like, "Oh my God, I pray that Jay doesn't get hurt," and stuff like that. Just like, she barely even watches the game because she's so scared. She told me like a story how she first saw football. She was like watching TV in Korea, and it was just like she was scrolling through the channels, and she just randomly popped up on a football channel, and she was just like, "What are they doing? Like, why are these grown men like fighting against each other, trying to go after that one tiny ball?" She just didn't understand at all why the sport was played.
But I do remember him as a sophomore, and just his toughness and scout team. And I think that sometimes our sophomores don't realize how much we're looking at kids when they're doing scout teams. That sophomore year is a tough year, and you have to go out there and work hard. You're going against older kids, but you'll see the kids' toughness, and that stuck out to me then. But at that time, I probably didn't know how just fiercely intelligent he is, and that's both academically and his maturity as a young man. And every time I watch him, I just have a smile on my face. You know, here's a young man that is really the epitome of why we coach high school football. He's not 6'4", 250 pounds, and I don't want him to be. I want him to be Jae Kim. You'll look every now and then, and you'll see a highlight of him making a tackle, 5 yards downfield on the other side of the field of like a screen pass away from him, and just making relentless plays that frankly he shouldn't be making. And I will argue that a lot of those 5-stars don't make either. And when you have that and you show it to the team and you just take great pride, not that he's doing it because we're making him, he's doing it because that's what's inside of him. And he's just a phenomenal young man that's made our program so much better based on how he plays on the field, but also the way he conducts himself off the field. And he makes a huge impression on his coaches, I can promise you that.
I'm having a good season, not great yet. I'm trying to make it to get that into the great part, but I think we're having a good season right now. We have our ups and downs, but I think we're working on it, and I think as a team, we're really getting unified right now.
If not the most popular, he's quickly going to be the most popular kid on this team because of the way he plays and the way he conducts himself. I love it when the cream rises to the top. He's a fierce competitor. A lot of times when you kids get labeled as very intelligent and scholar athlete, he'll fight you. And that relentlessness is something that I think he thrives off of. And I think a lot of his teachers would be surprised if they saw him on the football field because of just how much of a fierce competitor he is. He will not back down to anybody. Never has and never will. That's what makes him so special. And even though we get to see it on the football field, I think that's inside of him that's going to propel him to so much success in life. You combine that with his intelligence, there's no telling what Jae Kim can accomplish.